Hello, it's March 30th. I just got off the phone with Susan Davis's office, Michael McLaughlin, and they are helping me with my loan, but here's the rest of it.
Hi, this is Patrick Lee. This is Michael. Patrick, I'm sorry. Oh.
Okay, I'm trying to find it. Should be here somewhere.
Okay, it's considered undue influence to private companies. But, yes. Or, yeah, sorry.
Okay, I kind of, one person answered and then they said.
Yes. Do you mean Mike McLaughlin? Yeah, I do, and this call may or may not be recorded for quality assurance purposes. I'm on your team, though. I promise. I just need some feedback because the banks are allegedly taking money from people. I've written. Would you like to speak with Mike? Mike, yes. Mike. Michael. I can see if he's available. That would be great. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, hopefully we...
Hi, Mr. McLaughlin. Patrick Leva. I am again recording this call. I tried calling the White House comment line today, and the woman hung up on me. I'm calling in regards, I know you can't rush the banks, obviously, but what about the 5 news channels here in San Diego? Why hasn't anyone gotten back to me on that? No one will report this story. I need help. Well, I explained that yesterday, though, right? We don't control what news stations cover or don't cover. Okay. It's considered undue influence to private companies. So they can do whatever they want? Well, I don't think that's what I mean. They can't do whatever they want. I mean, there are limitations, but that doesn't mean that we can tell them what news stories to cover. No, but can't you do your own news conference and expose some of the alleged thievery? Why is Congresswoman Susan Davis so reluctant to help me? Yeah, I mean, I do housing casework, and so I am her help on people's housing and foreclosure issues. That would be great. But this is a separate issue, Michael. I'm sorry to interrupt. If you're handling the Bank of America, the loan part, great. I know we're in a queue. We can't rush that at all. What I'm asking is, I asked you yesterday, and I have it recorded. Please have Susan Davis contact me by the end of the day yesterday. You didn't even get that done. I mean, am I just not that important, or? No, you did ask for a response in writing in a day, and that doesn't usually happen that way. Okay, and I also called the president's hotline, and he hung up on me. Is this how government treats veterans? I don't understand. I have a truth that needs to get out, and you guys seem to be unwilling to help. Right. And what I told you yesterday was that we were focused on your individual case, and I don't know what your discussion was like with the woman from the White House, so I can't really say why she had to hang up. Okay. But what I'm asking you, Michael, is I've asked you to have Susan Davis please get a hold of me, and that hasn't happened. To have her send me something in writing that states she is aware that there's 5 news channels here in San Diego that refuse to.
Oh. Okay.
Do this story. That's all I need from her right now, because I'm still putting my alleged case together. And if she won't help, what do? We're at a standstill. And she is helping through her staff, and that's what her staff is here for.
Okay.
She knows what the situation is. She's known that the banks have been unreliable in carrying out the Making Home Affordable program. I'm not trying to sue them. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to put a whole lot of money in my pocket. What I'm trying to do is communicate to the public through our elected officials who have a responsibility to their public to communicate truth. Isn't that part of what you all signed up for, allegedly? And then why am I being treated this way? You guys got to do your job. I'm sorry. I'm a veteran. We're at war overseas, and we're at war in our country, allegedly, because the banks are stealing, and you said they're a private entity, and they can pretty much do what they want. So for Congress to be helping me, that's not happening. And that's why this tape is going to go on YouTube as well. Did you at least look at the old YouTube video that I posted? I'm not sure which video you posted. So. Okay, it's Okay, so you have seen a few? I have, yes. Okay, why won't anyone step in and say, hey, there's 5 news channels here in San Diego that refuse to do this story. Something is wrong, allegedly. Doesn't not a rule to tell them what stories to cover. Well, don't tell them. Suggest, hey, we have proof. I have it in my hand. You charge this veteran late fees for this many months. It's that veteran's intent to try and get the word out to the public. How many other Americans has Bank of America allegedly done this to? I don't want a big sloppy lawsuit. I want some disclosure. The federal government needs to step in and watch them do each transaction, because at this point they are allegedly incompetent of doing a loan. They've proven that, allegedly. And that's why we're working with you on your investigation. I know that's maybe not what you want to hear, but you keep the problem. Yes, but you keep diverting my subject. I understand you're working on a loan, and I'm very, very appreciative of you helping me with that. And hopefully you're still working on Jan Riley's loan. Right, and that's what we're here to do as the caseworkers. Okay, great. So the next question is, why hasn't Congresswoman Susan Davis sent me an email stating that she is aware that there's 5 news channels in San Diego that refuse to do the story? I will back off. I will wait the 45 days I'm supposed to wait for my loan. But I need something in writing from Susan Davis stating that she knows that there's 5 news channels here in San Diego. Can you do that for me today? Get me an email from her stating that she's aware. She doesn't normally email them directly. Of course. That's why she has staff. Yes. I need an email, something in writing. I never got that from Bank of America. That's my biggest problem with Bank of America. There is no accountability. When I was in real estate, I had a fax number, a phone number. Whenever you needed to get anything done in business, you would fax that person. That document was considered a legal document. No one takes any accountability in this nation, allegedly, to step up and protect American citizens. Why can't Susan Davis send me a letter stating that she is aware that there's 5 news channels in San Diego that refuse to do this story? That's all I'm asking for. She is aware. When we spoke yesterday, you asked me to make sure that she knew. Now, the response part of it, you're right, she hasn't sent you an email, but normally that's the role of the staff to deal with things like this and let you know that she knows and that we're working on it. But we're not going to be able to tell news stations in San Diego what stories to cover. She can't do her own news conference? Congresswoman Susan Davis. Sure. The federal government needs to step in and watch that. Congresswoman Susan Davis sent me an email stating that she is aware that there's 5 news channels in San Diego. To get anything done, if you don't get this out, I am personally holding you both liable. Right, and I think a good example stating that she is aware. I will back off. I will wait the 45 days I'm supposed to wait for my loan. But I need something in writing from Susan Davis stating that she knows that there's 5 news channels here in San Diego. Can you do that for me today? Get me an email from her stating that she's aware.
I'm trying to catch up.
Normally email directly. Of course. That's why she has staff. Yes. I need an email, something in writing. I never got that from Bank of America. That's my biggest problem with Bank of America. There is no accountability. When I was in real estate, I had a fax number, a phone number. Whenever you needed to get anything done in business, you would fax that person. That document was considered a legal document. No one takes any accountability in this nation, allegedly, to step up and protect American citizens. Why can't Susan Davis send me a letter stating that she is aware that there's 5 news channels in San Diego that refuse to do this story? That's all I'm asking for. She is aware. When we spoke yesterday, you asked me to make sure that she knew. Now, the response part of it, you're right, she hasn't sent you an email, but normally that's the role of the staff is to deal with things like this and let you know that she knows and that we're working on it. But we're not going to be able to tell news stations in San Diego what stories to cover. She can't do her own news conference? I'll put on a big floppy hat and I'll try and be as nice as possible to convey my message. I mean, the public has the right to know this. And if you, Michael, or Congresswoman Susan Davis don't get this out, I am personally holding you both liable. Right, and I think a good example of, that people know is that there was an article in the New York Times this morning, which I'd be happy to send to you, which talks about all of the problems with the Making Home Affordable modification program with banks. What about Bank of America telling me you can get a lawyer, but you'll be broke and homeless? I can't speak to what that one staff person at the bank said. That's just poor customer service, I think, and I think you talked to the banks about that. Excuse me, Michael, I don't mean to be rude, but poor customer service is going on at the White House. So, I mean, that's nothing new. why not point out the alleged felonies, the alleged thievery? No one has any gumption, any nerve in Congress to step up against Bank of America. And that's why this is being recorded, and that's why it's going on TV, or not TV, YouTube. Because Susan Davis has not got my back at all. You said you told her. What was her response to the 5 news channels? What did she say about that? That we're doing our part by working on your case. But that has nothing to do with the news channels. It really doesn't. You're right, but as I told you, that we're not going to be able to do anything for you. So, okay. Never your story. So let me get this straight. Congresswoman Susan Davis refuses to do anything about 5 news channels here in San Diego that refuse to write a story on what's really going on with Bank of America, allegedly. Is that your statement for the day? I'm not. Well, I feel like you're trying to make me say things that... That's what you just said, sir. I'm just trying to get clarification, because obviously you haven't given it to me in writing. You're right, that we're not going to intervene in the news station. Yeah, okay. God bless you, and tell Susan Davis to have a nice day, and I hope she finds allegedly a job that she can actually do. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I got disconnected a bunch of times. And it's just frustration. You know, Susan Davis, Congresswoman Susan Davis is probably a wonderful person. But the fact that she is aware that there's 5 news channels here in San Diego that refuse to do this story, she's basically telling me that my existence, my life, my home doesn't matter. I'm a disabled veteran. I served in the United States Navy with the Marines. You know, you people get elected to Congress and just you settle for a paycheck, allegedly. Get off your alleged derrieres and step up for the American people for a change. And in the White House, the only thing I have to say is you really need to get some staff in there that don't hang up on customers. There's a lot of people unemployed in this nation, and you have rude people working in the White House. So God bless, and Mr. Barack Obama, if you need my phone number, I'm listed. Thank you, sir, for your time.